What is that? And if I do something, it won't do flame anymore, would it? Good morning. Happy 15th. We are, well, it's 28 days, so we've been past the middle of the month, but I always, 15th, middle of the month. Yes, no. I have to pack. I'm the the sorrows of my phone, part 4. I know you guys are probably already exhausted from hearing it. So Kindle took my phone to AT&T. They were not able to retrieve anything except stuff from 2007 from my, okay, I've always had a Samsung since me and Kendall been together. I had a Samsung before Samsung, like this. I'm dating myself, but I was part of Boost Mobile, and Boost Mobile would have like these really cool sidekicks and things like that. Well, when Boost Mobile got bought out, they got bought out by Sprint. When I met Kendall, Kendall had AT&T, and I transferred over, and I always had a Samsung. Good morning. And they took my phone in, and he was able to retrieve stuff for 1 year. 1 year I tried Apple and I did not like it. I was not comfortable with it. They were able to retrieve all that, but pretty much everything from since like 2009 and 2010 they cannot retrieve off of my phone. And they can't explain why it's not in the Google Cloud. So I'm really frustrated because I was supposed to be making my Wednesday bag today. I wrote out all these really cool measurements after I like seen like there's like about 5 like different leather people making the Wednesday bag, and I wrote out my measurements for them, and all my notes are gone. I am like super pissed. Like, I always tell people don't rely just on your phone, but I did, like, I do. All like my dates, like for like scheduling things, are in my phone. Like, oh, you have this class, then you have to go teach this. So like nothing in my calendar is uploaded from my previous phone. So I had to go back to the journal. I know. Um, I had to go back to my journal and then go back to my wall full of post-its, but I don't have any of my measurements. So I'm going to take some time today to write out some measurements for the Wednesday and try to do it when I come back. I really wanted to make it for there. That was going to be my personal bag. And I have to pack. I'm going to most likely have Kindle pack for me because he's better at packing than I am, but I'm putting everything on our bed so that way it'll be easier for him getting all my hair products, because it's not makeup usually, it's hair. Most you'll see me wear is mascara and maybe some Fenty lip. I love Rihanna's lip gloss. Like, it looks natural on everyone. um yeah, I'm really mad about that. Like, I have, when you go into my photo section on my phone, there are videos and stuff from like when I did my Instagram reels in December, and there's photos from like the beginning of the year, but like all the photos for the bags that I tested, they're not there. So I'm luckily I'm able to retrieve some from my camera that I took and some from Kindle's camera, but like I usually take all the outdoors photos, and none of them are there. So I have to retake a couple of photos for bags that are coming out this week, so that way I can help promote those patterns. But yeah, it's been a interesting week. Yes, I have. That's the thing. I checked Google Calendar, and I got a call today at 8 o'clock in the morning saying, "Hey, just a friendly reminder, next Thursday you have a doctor's appointment." And normally, whenever my neurologist sends me something, I automatically put it on my Google Calendar. It's not there. None of the stuff that I had for So Magical for class times, I put it all in my Google Calendar so that it could set off an alarm so that if I'm in the middle of talking to somebody, I can remember to get to class on time. Nothing's there, so I have to reset everything. I'm thinking that that's what it was, and they were like, well, they were saying the Galaxy, uh, I'm sorry, the Fold 3 have been having this issue, and it has like a major issue with the battery because this was a third or fourth time that we had to go get it fixed, and they were like, here, just take a new Galaxy 3 Fold, it would glitch and like have white spots or red spots in the lighting, and they said it was an issue with the battery. And I automatically set up everything um to be downloaded and backed up. Nothing was backed up. I don't This is the first one I've had that I've never had anything back up. So yeah, that's that, and that just sucks because I'm doing it like I just got off a call with Monica, and I was like, dude, I need all your class information because I don't have it on my phone. I have to put down when I'm having class and the classes that I'm taking, like the lights and the patch. I'm really excited about the patch. I know I keep talking about the jelly lights, but I'm also excited about the patch, and I'll show you why in a second, because then you guys might do it, and I think it's a cool idea. Um, so I had to put down the classes and everything for it, what time I need to get up. Like my alarms are not going off either. Yeah, Google, I don't know. Then I actually called, I had to go, okay, there is a plus though. So with the negative, there is a plus. My personal computer that I edit films on, I put, when I do screenshots, like if you're in my Patreon, you already seen the screenshot of Nova's Nuggets. It's like literally chicken nuggets. Um, they have pictures that I used in Canva. Canva has all the pictures that I edit for promotions on there. So there are pluses that like separate apps like downloaded and kept, like Canva, whatever you download and you keep, or even if you're working on something and somehow your computer or your tablet or your laptop or your phone shuts off, Canva keeps it. Good morning. Yeah. So I like patches. I have two ideas for bags. One is for a Star Wars bag, and I wanted it to look like you are one of the flight simulators, but like instead of having a jacket, have all these patches of places you've been in flight. And then the other one was Lords of the Ring, like have a Mordor, Rivendell, like all the patches. And I found this really cool, like two different people on Etsy that make these amazing patches. And that's what got me going about wanting to make a patches, because these people, like, let me show you this one. This one is from Southern Defense. He has all of these. So like Hoth, Tatooine, Alderaan, and they're all patches. And I'm like, this would be such a cool backpack on like duck canvas, like, or have it as a messenger bag. It will be super cool because like you would be undercover geeky and nobody will know. They'll just see patches. And there is this other guy. He makes really cool Star Trek and Star Wars and Lords of the Ring. Let's see. Like Mordor National Park. Like I've been wanting to make like really cute bags with like natural duck canvas or oilskin or wax canvas and have patches. So I'm really excited to take this patch class because I'm hoping I can learn and I can like start decorating my own patch. Like wouldn't it be cool? Like I'm wearing like all these villains. Wouldn't it be cool to have a patch for all of them and have it like on a Halloween bag? Or so I'm looking for that. I like learning new things so I can incorporate it into bags. Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of different patch people on, there's a Pokemon one that Hope's obsessed with because they have Umbreon. I'm not really knowing all the Pokemon names. Like she's really into it. And when I make her backpack, she wants all purple wax canvas bags, and she wants patches of like her like Pokemon characters. And then we have really cool Pokemon zipper pulls that are two-sided enameled from New Moxie. Again, do not sleep on New Moxie. Like seriously, New Moxie has everything from like if you wanted just to have like a gamer's bag and have like old school stuff like Zelda and Pac-Man, they have everything. They have really cool Star Trek Enterprise pulls I just seen. I'm like, please have them at So magical. Yes. Yes. There was one, the person's patches, she makes them with Velcro. So what you would do is you would make your bag like a messenger bag and have like a Velcro strip, and then you could just put different patches on each day. Like, don't mess with me, today's code red, or like I thought it would be like a cute thing to have. I usually make, well, I make it, but most of the time, 99% of the time it's Kindle, like 95.5%. Once I showed him how to make it, then he makes it. I bought beeswax and I bought oil, like wax canvas oil stuff, and he's going to do a tutorial when we get back. That is our mission, is by that week, the next following weekend, that he does a tutorial. It's going to be a little different style because he's going to show you like the beginning, how you heat some in it. Then we have to wait 3 days so you can see the final result of the wax canvas. But normally I make it because you can get duck canvas like cheap at Fabric Wholesale Direct, like $4.99 a yard. Do not get the one at Joann's. Oh my God, I hate their I hate their duck canvas. Or maybe it's just mine, Joann's, but their duck canvas, it is just, it absorbs so much wax, like canvas. I feel like it's not the right weight. Like they're just putting a weight just to say, like, say it's 12 ounce, like a 7-ounce one, but it's really like a 12 or 14-ounce weight. And it's just, I don't know. It like absorbs really well, but it like continuously takes product. When you're doing wax canvas, you can see when the product is fully absorbed. It feels like with theirs, it's like really porous, or the weft and weave is not tight enough where it's just like seeping through on down to the parchment paper. And it's frustrating, especially because waxing your canvas is not a cheap thing. It's not the can itself of wax or the beeswax. That you can find those locally, bar wax everywhere. It's the time. You're putting in a lot of time waxing, melting it, keeping the water at a consistent, warm, so that the wax doesn't boil over and it just stays the same temperature. Then brushing it in, ironing it in, and then you're curing it. And you don't want to cure it and all of a sudden there's like spots that are not saturated and you can visibly tell when it's dry. It's a whole process, but Kindle will show you. Aren't they gorgeous? Those, like, I got Umbreon. She watches this. She's gonna have some kind of comment. It's the purple one that looks a fox, like a fox cat. Eevee Evolution, something along those lines. I have 3 kids. They all are into weird stuff. Yeah, I can't wait to him show that too. And then I'm going to do, I get a lot of questions about the clear one, the bonding stuff that you put on to make it like oil canvas. Like, I'm going to show how I do that too, because that is actually quite easy. It does take a while to cure. You have to be patient on that because you put your first coats down and in 24 hours it'll be dry. But you need to really look through into the sun to make sure it's all even. And then you can put a second coat and let that dry, and then you have to heat seal it. There's a lot of different things you could do to preserve, like, especially if you're getting custom or really expensive fabrics, there's a lot of stuff you could do to help prevent it from getting messed up. Like sometimes if I'm working with certain canvases and the person doesn't want it waxed, I'll ask them if they want me to do a Scotchgard treatment. And I usually do those sometimes prior, but most of the time I do it when the bag is completely done, and it's a whole curing and drying process too. Yes. Okay. Thank you for saying that. This is a thing I tell people all the time. Even though I work on mostly industrial machines, when I work with wax canvas, I clean underneath the needle bar, my feed dogs, and everything. It's wax. So like, it's like you putting your finger in it, you will have residue. There's residue that's going into your needle, and the shaft goes up into your needle bar area to collect the thread. You need to clean that. But like I tell people to clean after they use double-sided tape, even if it doesn't gum up their needles. It's glue. So some kind of transfer, when it goes down, when the needle bar goes down and hits, sorry, my puppy was barking. When it hits your case, pulls the thread up and it goes up, you have some kind of glue transfer. And to prevent things from happening, even if you have an electric machine, you need to open up little areas and wipe things down. Do not use a duster, air duster, if you have a domestic that's computerized, because you could mess up so much stuff. But if you have a computerized one, you clean the needle bar, clean that area that goes up in the little needle bar. You can use like little Q-tips and get that glue off, because double-sided tape is glue. I like fashion badges. I have all of Gertie's badges from Camp Gertie, and I still haven't made my sash, but I kind of want to make a jacket. Yeah, I use Scotchgard if the person wants it. I do offer it. Like, I get a lot of Notorious prints, and for the Star Wars one, some people like it waxed, some people don't, because it gives it a shine and they want like a matte finish. So I'll ask them if it has like the toil, if it has like a white undertone, I would be like, do you want me to Scotchgard it? And then I will give them information on what Scotchgard have, and I will try to show them tutorials on how I Scotchgard to keep up. It's kind of like wax canvas on boots, when like people in that do like Arctic fishing and all that stuff like that, they have to wax their slickers and wax their shoes. It works, the treatments work, but you have to keep kind of like, if you have a lot of wear, you need to update and like fix patches. And that's why a lot of wax canvas comes in like little bars, and you can just redo those areas. Yeah, it's really interesting to me when I hear people like, "Oh, my machine doesn't get gummed up with double-sided tape." I'm like, "Really?" Because even my machine gets gummed up with Drits, but at the end of the day, even if it doesn't, you're going through an adhesive. That's like if you were to take a needle and stick it through a sticker, you're gonna, if you put a microscope to it, you're gonna see some kind of adhesive residue, and that's going into your machine. So just clean your machines out afterwards. I have a pack of Q-tips, alcohol wipes that I keep in my area, and when I'm done, I'm cleaning out my machines. They're my therapy. They're my hobby. It's my business. So I take care of it like I take care of one of my kids. All of my machines get love after I'm done using them. So I just turn everything off and do it. Like I I go through, and I just don't like, I just, when you think about it, when you really look at the mechanics of your machine and how the needle bar goes up into the machine, you're like, oh snap, that adhesive is going straight up there. That's why I always try to show people like, oh, use your clips, or even with a beacon glue, because dude, I have like one of these at every station in every place of the house. It doesn't, when it dries fully, it's not the same as double-sided tape. That's why you see like Sonar using it. It doesn't have as much of adhesive residue coming up because it's dried. It's like contact. That's why a lot of people like Toby Styles, she uses contact or vinyl cement. Even Maggie 55, you see her using a lot of glue that once it dries, it's a part of the thing. You don't have something sticky going up into your machine. So just like think about that for a second. Like once that dries, it's not going anywhere. It's like when you pull up the glue, this is not going anywhere because it's dry. It's dry, so it's not going up into your needle bar. So just something to think about, because I use a lot of glue and my husband makes fun of me with it, but it saves me a lot of, I use double-sided tape in videos so that my videos are not forever like, I'll be back, I have to wait 15 minutes for the glue to dry. But if you sew with me one-on-one, then you'll be like, oh yeah, Schnevel uses glue for everything. Yeah, I like using Eau de Coat. It depends on it. I do not recommend, hear me and like, don't come for me. Do not use Eau de Coat on CL. I repeat, do not use Eau de Coat on CL. I have tried several different times because people ask me, and because of the stretch of the Lycra, as soon as you stretch, the back stretches a little bit, even if you interfaced it with something, if it stretches, it will break the Eau de Coat seal. I love Eau de Coat too. I use it for everything. I use that. I'm also I use Mod Podge for a lot of things too. Cotton Lycra. A lot of people like to use it for backpacks, but if Susie was on here, she'll tell you I don't. I don't. I will tell you ways to stabilize the bottom and the top, but Cotton Lycra has Lycra throughout the whole thing. So even if you do what I tell you to starch the top, adhere, your Shape Flex or your SoFuse, it still has a possibility for the Lycra to shift because that's what its properties are. Cotton and Lycra, it's meant to shift, to stretch. So and then it's extremely thick and the seams are ridiculous. Cotton Lycra, yes. Or spandex. So like, like the shirts, like, how most t-shirts are not t-shirts anymore. They'll like say 95% cotton, 5% Lycra because there's a stretch. If it was 100% cotton, we wouldn't be able to do this. That's why I busted my sister's dream. She was like, Shanova, I got into this size jean. Whoop, whoop. I was like, are they 100%, like, are they Levi's? Like 100% denim? And she looked at him, she was like, they say they have 15% Lycra. I was like, most denim jeans have Lycra in it. So most people think they know their true size in jeans, and they don't, because after 1990, it's been physically cheaper to make denim with Lycra in it than it is to have 100% denim. Denim doesn't stretch. I don't, because what happens is a lot of people are clothes maker, and then when they get into bag making, they want to use panels that they purchase from different fandom groups, and they want to use it. I've made it. If you go into Backstitch, if you look under my name, there's a Butter Snacks that was yellow. It was my first purchase from Backstitch. Absolutely loved it. Faith wanted it. She wanted it as a backpack. I made the Cumberland backpack from So Sweetness. Those seams were so ridiculously thick because cotton Lycra is like 3 or 4 times thicker than just a woven fabric. Good morning. Yeah, it does. Like if you were using it for a small portion, like let's say you were making a messenger bag and it was just going to be the messenger bag front, you can, but you have to keep in your head there is a possibility that the Lycra in the middle of, like, if let's say you use SoFuse on the bottom and you do my method of starching the top, the middle is still Lycra. So if you sew and let's say you use your fingers to try to go around that curve, you can shift the fabric and it could be like not centered because it's not meant to. It's supposed to stretch. That's what Lycra does. That's why we're able to wear shirts like we can, sweaters, because it moves and shifts with our body. That's why Nancy Zinman, rest in peace, I always wanted to meet her. She would have t-shirt quilts, and I made t-shirt quilts too. And she had a huge process. First, you got her ruler. You had to cut out like where you need to cut out before you adhere interfacing, because your t-shirts could still shrink even though they're pre-washed. And then before we adhere the Shape Flex 101, she would use a heavy starch like I do. I use cornstarch or spraying starch to stabilize the top and the bottom. But she said when we're making those quilts, there is a possibility that there could be a small alignment issue because the layers in the middle are not stabilized. So there could be a shifting, like this guy could slightly look like this on the back because this is not 100% cotton. It's not meant to. That's why t-shirt quilts are always so special to me, because they're never 100% perfect, because if they're not using a t-shirt that's 100% cotton, which there really isn't anymore, even Hanes, when you get Hanes and it'll be like cotton, oh, it's 100% cotton. When you look in the description, it'll be like 95% cotton, 5% cotton Lycra. It's like a weird thing. I like to make I like to quilt a lot, and I love to make t-shirt quilts. And one of my favorite people to quilt was Nancy Zinman. I would watch like everything. I have DVDs from her. When she passed away, I literally cried because I was like, I'm supposed to meet you. I'm supposed to go to your store and I'm supposed to meet you. She just was like, she made waves and she made like so much happen for the sewing world. Yeah, unfortunately, the lady that made the original Boxy pouch, her husband was at the Super Bowl. He was actually, there was like a freeze frame and he was there. So I like cried and had to walk out of the room because like there's a lazy girl. So there's so many people that I will see, the people that you want to see. If you're wanting to go to a Crafty Gemini retreat or something, go see Crafty Gemini. If you're wanting to see Sarah Lawson, you should email her and ask her if she's ever going to have an in-person retreat, because if there are people that influence you, see them now, because tomorrow is just not promised. Yeah, I used to watch every episode too. Baby Lock. I mean, I wanted a Baby Lock just because of Nancy. Um, I still buy one of my favorite interfacings is from Lazy Girl. Her Craft Text. That's why I always tell people there's Craft Text with a K and there's the one with the C. If you get the one with the C, that is Lazy Girl's formula, and it looks like Peltex, but she makes totes out of them completely. Being that, it's amazing. She's really good with structure, and when she passed away, she was young. She was young. She was like not even 51. It happened last year, and I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" I like a couple of my pouches that I make. She has this one that is for wires, and it sits like this, and it opens like up like this. Oh my god, genius methods. Well, Craft Text with a K is actually a material. You can use it as a wallet. It's for it doesn't fray, it doesn't tear easily. You can even get it at Barnes and Noble. There's wash and unwashed, and that's a whole different topic. But like Maggie 55 uses it a lot as stabilizers. She uses that in her wallets and whatever. Then there's Craftex with the C, and that's a Lazy Girl product, and it's similar to a Peltex, except it's more flexible. And some of the totes I made with it, I was like, holy crap, this tote is amazing. It is amazing. And I was doubtful that it was going to work, but it was pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, Lazy Girl. No, no one. The way I found about it is I buy my craft text from her site, and then I seen it. We're saddened to say that she passed away, and I was like, what? And I was legitimately sad because I was like, wait, I have so many of her patterns. I use some of her patterns when I'm doing strikes because I feel like they're very easy to do for people. They're achievable. They could be a 1 day project because everyone sews different. Someone may make one bag and it takes them a whole month because they have like two jobs, a family, or whatever. I feel like Lazy Girl Sews makes patterns that legitimately can be done the same day. You can't say that with a lot of patterns, depending on people's lifestyles. And I love her Craftex. I love Craftex K and C. K I use a lot as a stabilizer. I've tried to put it. I used one time the outside as a Captain Marvel shield, and it was amazing. It's beautiful. It doesn't rip. It doesn't fray. It's pretty cool, and it can come in different colors. Um, but it's also really good as a stabilizer for wallets. It gives it a nice fill without being it stiff. Like it's a very unusual stabilizer. Both of them are. Yeah, it was that's why I always like Craftex with the K. When you think Craftex with the K, think Maggie 55. That's the best way I can tell you. Maggie 55 uses Craftex with the K all the time. You can literally buy it at Barnes and Nobles. People make book journals out of them, everything. It's a fantastic stabilizer. You can get it on Amazon. It's not cheap. You get like a half a roll for a half a yard for like probably 18, $19. Good morning. Captain Logs, yeah. I was seeing how long people were gonna notice, but that's what I felt um, like a digital reminder to myself. And then Craft Text with the C, Lazy Girl Show. And if you're able to get like 1 yard, you should try it. It's very unique. It looks like it's Peltex, but it's not. Once you get it, you're like, wait, it's weird because like you can't like wait. You could wave Peltex, but you could see the like it being rigid. This one moves. It's like, how can I say? It's like if foam was stable. That's what Craft Text with the C's like. It's a very unusual thing. I used it a couple times in major bags, but most of the time I used it in my totes. No worries. You always can watch it on repeat. Yeah, I don't know. It was really weird because there was um a panel in Sale Magical about interfacing, and I know I like in my heart I kept saying speak about it because you know so much about interfacing, but I don't sell it. So I always like try to like back off because there are people that sell it and like they put their heart, blood, and everything into their product. I just like to use unusual stuff because I come from a different line of sewing because of my Avalita making dresses and hats and quilts. I come from making garments and using millinery stuff for that's why I use buckram. And now when I see patterns using it, I'm like, yes, because it's such a cheap resource. You can get it anywhere, and it's perfectly, it's a fabulous scene. If you can see, if you see a top hat, your bag is not going to probably be structured like that. So they use buckram. And I've been talking about buckram since one of my first lives in Swoon, because like I didn't understand why people didn't use it. And if you have, like, if you're living in PA, there's a couple corset shops and costume shops. They sell so much millinery stuff. I've been tampering with like some wires in bags too, because you create shapes with some of the hats with wires. So I was curious if I can do that with a bag. I have a lot of, whenever I have spare time, it's like a mad scientist in my workroom, and I try to do different things. Yeah, craft text with the K. C. Lazy girl, craft text with the K. I think Maggie 55. She's the one that really uses it a lot. Especially if you have the classic zip around wallet, you know exactly what I mean. So, and I like her. The reason why I like Maggie 55, and I would love to talk to her one day, is that she uses unconventional interfacing too. And I, without spoiling what's in her patterns, because I never would do that. If you get the classic zip around wallet, you know exactly what I mean. She uses stuff that you can get sometimes at your local hardware store, and that makes me appreciate her on a different level, because everybody has different walks of life. There are some moments, especially when my kids were really relatively young and I was paying for formula and diapers and help with sitters, and I didn't have the extra means to pay for anything. Now I'm a little bit better because I save for stuff. I save for everything. Anything I get, I save for. I have like, I get a cell and I'm putting this portion to this and this portion to that. My cells are broken down so strategically to like interfacing. I call it my mad scientist projects, because I go straight Frankenstein and like try to put things together to see if it works. If I could take something from my millinery and my quilting background and put it in a bag and see how it works. I can do that, and like it's better now. But when I first came back into sewing, oh man, no, I would just like eye drool on everything, and I couldn't afford it. And like me, and when Monica and I had our conversation earlier this week, I know, don't come for me, but I never understand why people go so hard for Decaville Light. I like it. But when, my question to you, when you're making your bag, is your exterior the same price as your Decaville Light or cheaper? Because most people are using cheaper vinyl. And if you're paying $9.99 a yard and you're paying what, $17 for 18 by 36, then when your interfacing becomes more than your exterior, you got to kind of question it. Like, is it worth it? It doesn't make sense. Like, it's not like when we're doing like dressing up for Fashion Week. Even then, you have, the dresses are nowhere as near expensive as your undergarments. So like, I like when people are like, oh, I'll pay this, but then they're using like Fabric Wholesale Direct vinyl. I'm like, this literally makes no sense. Does it make sense to you? Make it make sense. Why would I pay $17 or $19 for an 18 by 36 piece of interfacing and pay $9 for vinyl, and that's what I'm putting it on? Make it make sense. Because you can get Peltex for cheaper, you can get Craftex for cheaper, you can get Buckworm from cheaper. There's so many things you can mix and match interfacings to create something. You can use like waffle sew fuse plus with a buckram and a regular sew fuse and get the same consistency as Decaville Heavy. This is why I do science experiments, because it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah, like I talk about, I always ask that, why are you using interfacing that costs more than your exterior? Like, there's some really cool vinyls out there that are like, that look like real leather or look like cork. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, if my cork and my Pellon are running the same measurements and their same price, I'd rather spend the money on the cork than the interfacing, because I can come up with some kind of interfacing cocktail. For a floppy bag, I would use, if it's cotton, I would use like, I know everyone hates it. I would use Pellon Thermolam. Okay, just think Swoon and So Sweetness before they got big. Like Thermolam was in every single bag. It gives it a nice supple feel, but some kind of like it's nice to the hand. I have that in my that's in my arsenal too. I use it for a lot of bags. A lot of bags. And it's cheap. Like sometimes I can get like a whole 10-yard roll on Joann's for like $25. It's kind of like it, but it's thicker. You know who else use it? um Sally Tomato. They have their version, but it's the same thing. It's if you go to like some of the OG patterns, like you have like you Mrs. H, Crafty Gemini, Swoon. Like look at Swoon. Half of their patterns say Thermolam, and then the other half says foam. I'm just saying. And also Pellon don't um what was I going to tell? Because I was going to say Pellon Decaville. Decaville do not come for me. Your bags make, when you put Decaville light or Decaville heavy, they're extremely heavy in weight. I have weighted, I made 2 Dallas Cowboy bags I was going to say last month, in the month of November. And one was made with foam and one was made with Decaville light. And the one with Decaville light literally weighed 1 pound, 15 ounces. And the one with foam didn't even weigh a half a pound. Same materials. And you got to think about that. Like, do you want to carry a heavy bag? Because I sure in the hell don't. I don't. If I want to carry a heavy bag, if I'm going to like So Magical and I'm shoving it with stuff that I bought. But like on the day-to-day when I just have my wallet, my keys, maybe some medication, my EpiPen, I don't want a heavy bag. So there's just something to think of. Think outside the box. That's something I encourage people. Experiment when you have the time. Go to clearance sections to see what kind of interfacing. If you don't see everybody having it on Facebook, that shouldn't deter you. That should encourage you. Grab something to see how it feels comparable to what you got at home, because you might find something that works for you. The weight is a huge thing. It's hard to find. Joann's has it though. Joann's has Thermolam and Sally Tomatoes has their version. It's interesting. I like Sally Tomatoes. I like Sally Tomatoes interfacing. Whenever you have a little bit of money, go to the interfacing section and buy stuff. You really look at her interfacing. It's not what we see in Facebook at all. And when I bought some of her stuff, I was like, this is pretty cool. Like, it's pretty cool. She uses a Thermolam too on a lot of her bags. And I like the way it feels to the touch. Like, it feels really good. So if you're looking for it, Thermolam you can get at Joann's. Wait till they have like their present day sale and things are 60% off. You can get it for like $25-$40. Use that free shipping coupon. And it's not going to be like when everyone rushed for the Decaville light, because nobody's thinking about getting it. So. No, I don't think they're in Canada, but I think they ship to Canada. I think they're in Colorado or Missouri. They're in a really snowy area. So, yeah, I always tell people experiment because you don't know. And I'll give you an example. The Monica bag from Ora Rosa. So when I was testing it, you need Peltex or something. I was broke. I had no money because I just paid for like the kids, all of their summer stuff. And I didn't have, the tester was due like in 2 days and I knew nothing could come to me. And my Joann's does not carry Decaville light or heavy in the store. So I called her and she was like, call me on Facebook, like on Messenger. So Alexis, again, is really cool. If you have issues with her pattern, reach out. She's like one of the coolest people you could talk to. We literally we were experimenting with stuff. So in my first Monica was 2 layers of Bouncy Firm, 1 layer of SoFuse Plus, and 1 layer of 808. In my bag stand it taut. Like you could flip that thing and it would stand right back up. Like it was amazing. experiment with it, because that's the fun of our thing. The thing is that we all can't follow everybody else. What's good for the goose is not necessarily good for the gander. I like to color outside the lines, and I like to try different things because I might find something that is more financially good for me, and I might find something that I really like better than other things. Like, take for instance, like a lot of people compare Monica Sophie's Plus using 2 layers of it is like the equivalent of Decaville Light. Using 3 layers is like Decaville Heavy. Like, learning, and hers is cheaper. Like, you're paying what, $5 a yard, and you're not getting a 18 by 36. You're getting like a 36 by 36. And I'm just saying, math and science and bag making is super important. Yeah, I love Sophie's Plus too. I like the way it adheres. I like it for the, but she always thinks it's weird. I like it for my lining because I like to use cotton, and I like how it feels like waterproof canvas and not water resistant canvas. For me, I feel like when I use Sofuse on regular cotton, it feels like water resistant canvas. But if I use Sofuse Plus, it becomes waterproof canvas. I do not know who's calling me. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's so many unknown products. Like, just one day, if you have a place that does dry cleaning, you can go to them and ask them what materials they have. So they have a lot of interesting interfacing too. That I use a lot of I get asked a lot, what is the black interfacing I use? If I don't have Sofuse Plus or DHL 2010, I use my Taylor interfacing because it comes in these huge rolls. They're used for like usually cuffs and collars, but I use it on the back. It's polyester most of the time, and it works just fine for me. It adheres extremely fast. Mm. Oh, I've never been in the surprise vinyl thing. I'm really weird about surprises. Like, I want to know what I buy. So I don't know. I think it's cool. Like, I love the idea of surprise packs, but then what if I don't like it? I'll be mad at myself. I'll be super mad. And that's the risk you get with it. I'm like that person that doesn't like to gamble because, like, if I put $20 and I lose it, I would be upset. I want to know exactly what I have. I did get the red croc. I am like being whenever I'm on here, like people are just blowing me up. I did get the red croc for the Bella wallet, and that, oh my, I was really, so I want to get more of the red croc to make the matching bag. That croc, that that vinyl, I was like, holy heck! I don't even like croc. I like Sally Tomatoes vinyl because it's a little bit thinner than what other people are selling. So I feel like, and it doesn't shred or rip or pull really well. Yeah, it was gorgeous, right? I was like, I was gonna get the robin color because I love blue, but something about that red croc called to me, and I was like, yes, okay. I was like, yes, best thing ever. Yeah, so just experiment. Tomorrow I'm not gonna be going live because I'll be on the plane like at 7. I probably will do a captain's log on Friday, but it'll be later once I get in and me and Christina get more acclimated, and then I will go live to show you the vendor hall, and I'm really excited about that. Oh, Sally Tomatoes has a lot of surprise boxes. I think they have like one that's like a cork club. I think they have a vinyl club, and like it's surprise stuff that comes to you, or they have mystery boxes where you get mystery. I did a box opening live with one of their mystery corks. I wasn't disappointed, and you get nice sizes. I'm gonna miss everybody's face too, but I should be on here on Friday, and then hopefully I can do really good vendor haul things so you can see, and I'll try to see if I can get the person that's the vendor's attention. It's hard because they have to work with so many people to see what exclusive themes they have for So Magical. I know if you're in the So Magical group, you've seen that Lauren said that she's going to have all her rulers there. I got to finish my ruler collection. It's like not even because I need them. It's because at this point I'm invested. I have so many rainbow glitter rulers that every time someone posts a new one, I'm like, I don't have that one. I'm like 100% serious. Yeah, So Hungry Hippie. Oh God, her vinyls are beautiful to sew with. So beautiful. She has, I keep always wanting to put in my heart. She's the only person I've seen that has solid gray cork that has rainbow flecks. I want that cork so hard. You know how I feel about cork. Like, you know how I feel about it. She's the only person I see that has it. No one else has it. Because normally I get most of my cork, the majority of my cork I get from So Sweetness. Because one, Sarah ships, like her family, I don't know what they do. They ship really fast. I get my stuff really fast. And her pricing for shipping is lower than everyone else. And she rolls them up in the nice little triangle crates. And she has some of my favorite colors. So she has violet, which is named after her daughter, is the most prettiest purple violet you've ever seen, and lychee. Every time I make a bag with the lychee one, everyone's like, where did you get this cork? It's from So Sweetness. Yeah, she has so many great, her cork is amazing. Just flat out amazing. And also don't sleep on her hardware. Her hardware prices are very comparable to everyone else's, and they're like chunky and good quality. Yeah. Okay, so like somebody showed a ruler like it was like it looks like a 2x10 or 12, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have that one. Like, it's not on your site. I don't have it. So I'm literally going to Lauren's booth to complete my ruler collection. And I'm always afraid to use those rulers because I drop rulers like nobody's business. Have you ever really looked at all my Westcotts? Do you see this? Do you see this? I am rough on my ruler. So it's literally for collection purposes. Because this is what I do to rulers. I don't even know what half this is. And I will use this ruler until it breaks in half. And it's, if you look at it, it is all those scratches. Like, I use my rulers. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, oh wait, I'm about to then go watch Lauren so she could tell you what everything's going on. I seen that she has some cool stuff that drops today that I want, but I'm trying to be a good girl and save everything for So Magical because I know what she has right now won't be at So Magical. I have sewn over these rulers. This is the reason why I tell people, and this is the reason why one of the rulers, you're getting a 1x6 in my kit, because I have literally sewn over them. You won't break a needle, and my dogs have played tug of war with them. They won't break. They just are really great rulers to have. If Westcott ever wants to sponsor me, I'm really showing that I use your product. I'm just saying the best ruler, and they're cheap. I literally have them everywhere. And then my other ruler that I like is from Creative Grid, the 1 1/4. Okay, everybody always wants to know how my tabs for my zippers are perfect. They have a 1 1/4 of an inch wide, and you can make the perfect tabs for your zippers because it's the same exact width as your zipper tape. That is my secret. Oh, I have zipper tabs. Cool. Just cut around and they're absolutely. There's no cutting it once you sew it on the side. Perfect zipper tabs every single time. I'm addicted to rulers and pins. I'm okay with it. I know. I'll be like, look, Westcott, I need you to see that your cheap rulers, I'm like putting them on the map. And you know who else uses them? If you're a Gertie fan, she uses these rulers like nobody's business too. Like, these rulers and quilters use these because there is a quilting one. I don't know. This is not the quilting one. There's a quilting one where, actually, I think there's a quilting one where you can make perfect circles. So like you could put them in each hole, and they're each 1.5 inches. So the first circle could be a 1/2 inch, 1.5 inch, and so on and so forth. If you stick your pin in here and you're able to draw perfectly around it, it's really crazy. These rulers do a lot of stuff and they go through a lot. Like, this one has been sewn over so many times. I made a bag and it was just like on there and I was like, good times. Yeah. Get the two. It's 2 and 1. Yeah, 2 1/4. It's from Creative Grid. If I could find it, because I want to say I got it off of Amazon. As much as I hate them, they made me relying on them like the drug. I think I got it off of Amazon. It's 1 1/4 of an inch, and it's exact. Your zipper tapes, if it's a size 5 zipper, is 1 1/4 inch wide, and that is my favorite ruler. It stays on my cutting table because like most people need zipper ends for something, and I never have to worry about like sewing it and then cutting it even because it's automatically even. Yeah. I've seen those. I've seen those rulers too. I'm not trying to collect anymore because like Kindle thinks I have a Creative Grid ruler problem too, because like when people come out with patterns, they'll be like, yeah, I cut out 16 by 14. I'm like, yeah, here's my Creative Grid ruler. Like, I'm super excited about rulers because I don't have to do any math. Just cut her out. Like in my Creative Grid 36 inches, and I have a Creative Grid 42 inch and 28, and that's how I make my straps. Yep. Rulers. So I will definitely go to everyone's table, and I want to say thank you to everyone for being super positive and listening to my rants about Samsung, and hopefully Samsung gets better because they're making me want to be an Apple user right now. Everyone have a really good day. I hope you get some sewing in. If not, some exploring in, and I will be on Friday, and I hope everyone has a good time and I can show you some good content. Yes. One last thing. So you know my ends, my ends on my Lolas, that is literally a mask from Creative Grid. Use those rulers. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Yeah, I gotta win Tammy, when you win the lottery, just give me a cut. I'll work for you personally. I'll talk to you guys later. The ribbon video is coming out on Friday. It will be out on Friday. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.